If you think understanding money is about math, you have already lost. You spent 12 to 16 years in a classroom. You can solve a quadratic equation. You have memorized the periodic table. You can probably tell me who signed the Declaration of Independence and what year the War of 1812 ended. You are, by all standard definitions, educated. But let me ask you a question. Can you explain how the Federal Reserve creates money? Do you know how to leverage debt to buy assets without paying taxes? Do you understand the psychological triggers that credit card companies use to bypass your brain's pain centers? No, you don't. You graduated knowing the Pythagorean theorem, but not how credit card interest compounds. You studied photosynthesis, but not how to build a cash flow loop. This gap, this massive, glaring hole in your knowledge, is what I call the curriculum gap. And I am here to tell you, it is not an accident. It is not an oversight. It is a feature. The education system was never designed to build wealthy asset owners. It was designed to build compliant employees. It was built to create workers who are smart enough to run the machines and file the paperwork, but not smart enough to question why they are trading their lives for a currency that is being debased every single day. Today, we are going to look at the blueprint of the factory that built you. We are going to expose why schools refuse to teach the psychology of money, why the A student is often the most financially vulnerable person in the room, and how to finally graduate from the system that trained you to be poor. Let's look at the data. Schools claim they don't teach money because there is no room in the curriculum. They blame standardized testing. They blame budget constraints. That sounds reasonable until you look at the numbers. Only about 1/4 of U.S. high school students are guaranteed to take a personal finance course. That means 3 out of every 4 students walk across that graduation stage with zero structured financial education. But here is where it gets suspicious. This lack of education isn't distributed equally. Schools with over 75% wealthy students are highly likely to offer these courses. But schools where most kids qualify for free lunch? Only about 5% of those students get any financial education at all. This isn't random. The students who need it the most, the ones without parents who can teach them about investing, the ones who are starting from zero, are precisely the ones who are denied the playbook. Why? Because if you don't understand money, someone else will gladly manage it for you, and they will profit from every single mistake you make. Think about the industries that power our economy. Credit card companies, banks charging overdraft fees, retailers relying on impulse buys. They need you to be financially illiterate. An unaware customer is a profitable customer. If schools taught you that car commercials are engineered to trigger envy and social comparison, you would be less likely to finance a $40,000 car you can't afford. But then, the bank makes less interest. The dealership sells fewer cars. The GDP slows down. The system relies on your ignorance. Your debt is their asset. Your interest payment is their dividend. And the school system is the assembly line that delivers you, the perfect consumer, right to their doorstep. The biggest lie school taught you is that money is logical. They taught you 2 + 2 = 4. They taught you that if you budget, you will save. But money isn't logic. Money is psychology. And the financial system has weaponized your own biology against you. Research in behavioral finance shows that humans are hardwired to make terrible financial decisions. We suffer from loss aversion. The pain of losing $100 feels twice as strong as the joy of gaining it. So we hold on to losing investments just to avoid admitting we were wrong. We suffer from herd behavior. If everyone is buying a meme stock, we buy it too. If everyone is panic selling, we sell too. But here is the mechanism they really don't want you to know about: the pain of paying. When you hand over a physical $100 bill, scientists have observed that the insula, the part of the brain that processes physical pain and disgust, lights up. You literally feel the loss. It acts as a natural brake on your spending. Banks hated this brake. So what did they do? They invented the credit card, then the contactless payment, then the one-click buy. Studies show that using a credit card doesn't just numb the pain, it steps on the gas. It decouples the pleasure of buying from the pain of paying. You get the TV now, you feel the pain later, or never. This creates a liquidity trap. By removing the friction, they turn your brain into a slot machine. School taught you how to calculate the interest on a loan using a formula. But they never taught you how to recognize when a marketing team is hacking your dopamine receptors to make you sign that loan. Let's look at the product of this system. Let's look at Marcus. Marcus did everything right. He got straight A's. He followed the rules. He went to a good college, took out student loans, and landed a stable job making $55,000 a year. In his mind, he is winning. He is on the path. But Marcus has locked himself into a system designed to keep him running in place. He is trading time for money. There is a mathematical ceiling on what he can earn. If he stops working, he earns nothing. Marcus is suffering from the salary trap. He gets paid every 2 weeks. On paper, he makes decent money. But the system fragments his income before he ever sees it. Taxes take the first cut. Rent takes 40%. Student loans, debt incurred to get the job in the first place, take another chunk. By the time Marcus actually touches his money, he has $48 left for the week. He is educated, employed, and completely broke. Now look at Sarah. Sarah didn't worry about being the valedictorian. She worried about understanding leverage. While Marcus was memorizing dates for a history exam, Sarah was learning about strategic debt. Marcus thinks all debt is evil because school taught him to avoid trouble. Sarah knows that consumer debt is evil, but asset debt is a weapon. She buys a property with a loan. The tenant pays the mortgage. The tax code, which favors owners over employees, allows her to write off the interest, the depreciation, and the maintenance. She pays almost zero taxes on that income. Marcus pays the highest tax rate in the economic food chain, the W-2 employee rate. The government takes his money before he gets it. Sarah spends her business income before the government taxes it. School taught Marcus to be a specialized tool in someone else's machine. Sarah learned how to build the machine. Think about the habits you were graded on in school. Sit still and listen. Do not collaborate. That's cheating. Wait for the bell to dismiss you. Memorize the correct answer. Do not challenge the question. These are excellent skills if you want to be a factory worker in 1920. They are terrible skills if you want to be wealthy in 2025. In the real world of wealth, collaboration is not cheating. It's called a partnership or a network. The wealthy don't work alone. They leverage other people's time and other people's money. In the real world, waiting for the bell or the boss to dismiss you is the comfort trap. It keeps you in a job that underpays you because your brain craves the safety of the routine school instilled in you. And most importantly, in the real world, there is no correct answer in the back of the book. There is only risk and reward. The school system punishes failure. If you fail a test, you are bad. You are held back. But the wealth algorithm relies on failure. You try a side hustle. It fails. You learn. You try again. You invest. The market dips. You learn to hold. You adjust. Because Marcus is terrified of getting an F, he never takes a risk. He never invests. He keeps his money in a savings account losing 3% a year to inflation because that feels safe. He is failing slowly, invisibly, by following the rules. Sarah knows that failure is just data. She is playing a different game. School taught you that loyalty is a virtue. You stay in your seat until the year is over. You move to the next grade linearly. This is the loyalty tax. In the corporate world, employees who stay at the same company for more than 2 years get paid 50% less over their lifetime than those who switch jobs. The system counts on your inertia. It counts on the fact that you were trained to stay in the same building for 4 years at a time. HR departments have spreadsheets showing exactly how much money they save by giving you a 3% raise, which is actually a pay cut after inflation, instead of hiring your replacement at market rate. They call it retention. I call it a $500,000 penalty for doing what you were told was the right thing. The curriculum gap ensured you wouldn't do the math. It ensured you would value the gold star of loyalty over the cold, hard reality of market value. So, you have discovered the game is rigged. You see the gaps in your education. You realize you were trained to be an employee. What do? You have to create your own curriculum. You have to unlearn 12 years of programming. Step 1 is to stop thinking like a hoarder and start thinking like an allocator. School taught you to save your allowance. Wealthy people don't save in the traditional sense. They deploy. Step 2 is to reframe debt. Stop seeing debt as a moral failing. Start seeing it as a tool. Step 3 is to understand that the tax code is a map. The tax code isn't a list of penalties, it's a list of incentives. The government wants housing, they give tax breaks for real estate. And step 4 is to master your biology. Recognize when the system is hacking you. When you see limited time offer, recognize the scarcity trigger. When you feel the urge to keep up with your friends, recognize the social comparison trap. Automate your investment so your emotions can't sabotage your logic. The reason you feel frustrated, the reason you feel like you are working harder but falling further behind, is not because you are failing. It is because you are succeeding at the wrong game. You are being the perfect student in a world that rewards the dropout. You are being the perfect employee in a world that rewards the owner. The curriculum gap was designed to keep you essential to the production line, but excluded from the profits. But now you see it. And once you see the system, you can't unsee it. The real education starts now. It doesn't happen in a classroom. It happens when you buy your first asset. It happens when you negotiate your salary knowing your market value. It happens when you realize that your money should work for you, not the other way around. School is out. The market is open. If this opened your eyes to the hidden architecture of the system, if you are ready to learn the money psychology they refuse to teach you, hit that subscribe button. We are building the curriculum they didn't want you to have, one sketch at a time. Don't just be a student. Be an owner. I'll see you in the next one.